You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
Hi, welcome to episode 222 of the Rusted Robot podcast for Sunday, November 11th, 2018.
My name is Optimus Prime.
Hello, I am C-3PO Human Cyborg Relations.
I am Locutus, a Borg.
You're like a machine underneath, right? But sort of alive outside?
I'm a cybernetic organism, living tissue over a metal endoskeleton.
I'm an android.
These aren't the droids we're looking for.
Counterfeit, facsimile, replica.
We need some sort of robot. Ah, crap! I'm some sort of robot.
Hey Josh.
Hey Sean.
Hey Kitty.
Good day.
How's everybody doing?
Yeah.
Yeah? Pretty good? Yeah?
I'm good. I'm okay. I took pills.
Oh, pills. Pills make everything better.
Pills well, they don't make everything better, but they make a lot of things better.
Do they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Painkillers.
They don't make things better. They make things bearable.
Bearable. Gotcha. All right. Well, this isn't Pillcast. This is Rusted Robot Geekcast. And we're going to talk about some geek stuff.
Kind of want to look up if there's a thing called Pillcast.
I don't know, but there probably is. Maybe
Don't send people to a different thing.
I'm just checking if it exists.
Maybe it's a pharmaceutical podcast. You never know.
Oh, that might actually be really interesting.
Probably not.
It depends on what you're into.
Right. Exactly.
Josh and I like science, not just science fiction.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Science.
Remember, that's why we couldn't watch the Robinsons... Lost in Space. The Lost in Space...
Netflix series? Which was really, really good, although scientifically inaccurate.
A lot of it was really good.
Yes. It was a great story.
Their acting was done well.
Mm-hmm.
The weird robot thing was cool.
Yeah.
Like the robot alien thing.
Yeah.
The boy was pretty cool.
He did a good job.
I wanted to see more of him, but I just couldn't sit through the really bad science.
I could just ignore that.
I can ignore a lot.
But you couldn't
I'm
ignore
a pretty
everything.
Tolerant person. I don't know why it bothers me so much. That's just not how water works.
Pillcast was a podcast. It
Really?
hasn't produced an episode since 2014, where they produced episode 3. So yeah, March 27th of 2014 was the last time they aired an episode.
Does it say what it was about?
They had 3 episodes.
Yes. Ever wonder about random stuff? Well, for Dan, he is always questioning the world, people and everything. Pillcast is your weekend podcast to find answers to things you didn't need to know. You didn't need to know, but couldn't live without knowing. So if you're the curious type, subscribe to Pillcast, defunct, ever-expanding collection of useless information.
And
Maybe he covered it all in episode 3.
They did 3 episodes.
Yeah, that's it. Beard transplants is episode 1.
Beard transplants?
Yes.
Okay.
What's in a name and meals to die for.
Oh,
Wow.
Well, that's
it.
everything, obviously. What else could you want to know other than that?
Yeah.
That's everything right there.
All the rest of it is useful knowledge.
You know, when a podcast goes away after 3 episodes, that's called pod fade.
Oh,
Yes.
that's kind of sad.
It is sad. Yes. It happens a lot.
Does it?
It does.
They get into it and then they're like, I don't...
This is way harder than we thought it was.
Oh yeah, it does. It looks super freaking hard. I'm going to need advice on how to podcast.
Well, we're podcasting right now.
I know, but I'm considering doing a small, different one that would not be of any interest to people listening to Rusted Robot.
Really? Mm-hmm. That sounds intriguing.
Yeah, maybe.
You just did the silent entice.
Yeah.
You wouldn't like this. And everybody's like, well, no, I might like it. You don't
okay.
know.
No, they might.
Well, now you have to tell us what it's all about.
They might like it, but the thing is...
Well, it's still in the concept stages, so she may not want to say anything until she gets
because then other people might be like, hey, we should do that first because we know what we're doing for a podcast.
Uh-huh.
So,
Okay.
Yeah.
So we could talk off air about it, and I could give you all the advice you could ever possibly need.
Yeah, about like editing and equipment.
It's a lot of work.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of work.
It is, because this episode, all the episodes are usually about an hour,
Yeah.
and it could take anywhere from 2 to 3 hours to edit the thing.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Because I'm taking out the ums and the ahs and the breathing sounds and putting in the 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
Little voice clips here and there and all that kind of fun stuff.
Yeah, your podcast is good.
Thanks.
It's a good podcast.
I appreciate it.
I don't know if I don't think mine will be this good.
Takes practice.
It does take practice.
Do you remember the early episodes?
I do. We probably won't have any sad Katie episodes.
Oh.
No, I'm talking like way early.
Like when you first got on or when I first started?
Like episode 2, 3, 4.
Oh,
where
yeah,
it's like super echoey and you can barely hear some things.
Yeah, I really wanted you to have a carpet in the room.
We had carpet in the room.
Oh, did you have anything on the wall?
No, and we didn't know what we were doing. It was very, very new, and
You need many things on the wall.
and
if
we
you're...
recorded directly to the computer
Ah.
instead of in a smaller room with the iPad that we eventually transitioned over to.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there's all kinds of tips and tricks, and I would have done podcasting tips and tricks at ThunderCon if anybody would have come to the actual panel that I was hosting, but nobody did. It was
Aw.
very sad.
Well, I would go.
It hurt my feelings, and I cried.
I can feel their feelings. You feel love.
I would go, but I don't need to because I'm just the talent. You're the production.
Right, yes.
My tip, get somebody to do the production for you.
Well, you know what my job is on this podcast where you listen to things? I'm the face.
Very nice. Okay. So, we should, although it's not geeky, we should acknowledge that today, as this episode is airing, that it's the 100th anniversary of the end of World War I.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to begin 100 minutes of silence now.
Yes, and we've just done that through the magic of time travel. All that silence was right there for an hour. I compressed it so that people didn't have to wait to listen to it all.
Okay.
Very good?
Yes.
All right. So, yes. All right, so should we talk about some geeky stuff other than podcasting and wars?
I don't think wars are geeky.
Oh, wars can be really geeky.
They can be, but I don't
Once
think
you
they
start talking
are in
about, like,
general.
okay, so on the Eastern Front, they use an N217 shell rather
Okay,
than the
well,
N218 shell that they use on the Western
You can
Front.
be weird and geeky and obsessive about anything.
Yes.
But I just think at its core, that's not what it is.
What is it?
What is war?
Yeah, what
Do
is
you really
war?
want me to give you... No, I'm not going into that.
We're not going to go down that rabbit hole?
Sad Katie podcast.
See, we could have the Sad Katie episodes.
No, that sounds awful. Nobody's going to listen to that.
Nobody's going to listen to that.
I'm not going to listen to that.
You could start up your own podcast.
The Sad Katie podcast.
Much like I have started up Soulforge podcast to talk about the Sad Sean episodes and stories. You could have the Sad Katie show.
No, I don't think anybody wants Sad Katie.
No?
No.
Everybody likes Happy Katie?
Yes. Actually, so much so that when I'm not smiling, people tell me I should smile. And I'm like, I like literally smile every moment of my life. Sometimes I need to rest my face. I smile while I am sleeping. Sometimes I smile so hard while I am sleeping that I wake up and my cheeks hurt.
Josh, I don't know what to say about this.
I'm a relatively happy person.
Clearly.
Possibly more than the average person. But sometimes I need to rest my face.
So you don't smile at those points.
Yeah, and if I am resting my face because I'm exhausted or deep in thought, somebody will say, "You should smile more." And I'm like, "More? More?" Crazy people. Crazy.
Right. You're not smiling now, you should smile more.
I'm drinking a cup of tea. I think you can't do that, can you? Can you smile while you're drinking?
I bet you could do anything. You seem capable of the
I
most
am
amazing
capable.
feats of
Now
engineering.
I'm going to pour tea all over myself because I'm going to try to smile and drink. It's really hot.
Don't do it.
This is a really weird way to start a podcast episode, guys.
I don't think it's the weirdest we've done.
I don't think it is the weirdest we've done, but it is kind of interesting. Hey, so Captain Picard is the hero we need, says Star Trek writer Michael Chabon.
Good.
I feel like Captain Picard is the hero everybody needs all the time.
Is that true?
Yes.
Why do you say that?
Because he's Captain frickin' Picard.
Yeah.
Also, Patrick Stewart on his own is a good person. He's a good and nice person. He sticks up for the little guy.
Yes.
And he doesn't make you feel like a butt if you don't know what you're...
Talking about?
Yeah. He's just nice.
Shut up, Wesley.
And a little zany.
Mm-hmm.
I just like him.
We all like Captain Picard.
He brings joy to people's hearts.
So, according to the article that I read, they asked him, so Captain Picard is the hero we need right now? And he said, yes, Captain Picard is the hero we need right now. He exemplifies in some ways even more than James Kirk. And I'm not going to get into the Kirk versus Picard argument because I love Captain Kirk. He was my first captain. But Picard is even more of an exemplar of everything that is best about Star Trek's vision for the future. And he wasn't such a hound dog as Captain Kirk. That's pretty much all he said in this article here. But we need the positivity
of
Picard and the future of Star Trek.
Yeah.
Because, as these articles all say, we're living in a dystopian setting. So we don't need dystopian fiction. We need the positivity.
So, in his thing, in an attempt to be inclusive and and joining, he picked out one of the divisive things in Star Trek.
Kirk or Picard?
It was a clear answer.
Obviously, Picard is the hero we need. Kirk is just fun to watch.
Yeah,
he's enjoyable.
Oh, he's a
but
good
sometimes he's not even saving anybody.
Nope.
Sometimes he's just adventuring.
Or talking a computer to death.
Yeah, and that's fun too.
It is fun.
Yeah, I like when he hits things with other things.
Yeah.
I like when he breaks the Prime Directive, which is not particularly heroic, especially if it's just because you're suiting your own needs. But it's fun to watch.
When Picard does it, he agonizes over it. Kirk just goes...
Plus, he's doing it to do what's right most of the time.
Kirk does it, and Picard has to talk about it in the observation lounge for half an hour.
Yeah, because, he thinks things through.
Yes.
Do you think they will ever have a meta episode where anybody in the future of Star Trek goes into a holodeck simulation where Captain Kirk is like a holo novel?
I don't know.
And they could interact with him on crazy adventures, kind of like Captain Proton, but it'd be like a historical fiction type thing.
Well, it's similar to how they ended the Enterprise series with Riker using the Enterprise team as a hologram character setting for the Pegasus episode. So they kind of did that, but it was a very not well received episode.
No, because it invalidates the rest of the series.
Exactly. We'll just throw Riker in.
I just want somebody to love... I want somebody in the future to just love all the crazy zaniness. I want somebody to want to emulate Captain Kirk. And just to be, a really cruddy officer who's, breaking all the rules. And he's like, I'm just like Captain Kirk. But he's not, quite as smart as Captain Kirk. I want that. I want to watch that adventure. Of ensign who sucks at his job but wants so badly to be Kirk.
Yeah, but that's called being court-martialed. You get...
Well, I want to watch that, okay?
You get, half a season where he gets, several warnings and then he's just done, and they throw him out of Starfleet, because,
Yeah, okay, well, I'd be okay
even
with
during
at least...
Kirk's time, what Kirk was doing was, bold and, out there, and people were like, no, maybe we should court-martial him. In fact, there was a whole episode where they tried to court-martial him.
Oh, what if he's, the son of, an important admiral?
Yeah.
So he just gets away with all kinds of stuff.
No, see, that doesn't happen in Starfleet.
Because Paris was the son of an important admiral.
It might in the future.
And his father is like, no, you disappointed us, and I'm not going to help you because that would be morally wrong as a Starfleet officer. That would be
Paris.
wrong. Yeah.
I have an affinity for the people that don't pay attention and don't listen. Only fictional ones, though. I wouldn't want to be friends with them. I just like watching them. They're fun to watch.
Fun to watch. Mm-hmm. You know what else is fun to watch? Well, I had the Klingons over at my house the other night.
Ooh.
Peter and Karen came over.
They are most fun indeed.
They are. And we watched the second episode of the Star Trek Short Treks. Calypso was the name of the episode. And it took place 1,000 years into the future of the series. And it was just the guy named Kraft. And he was interacting with the computer. Not a lot happened. And we couldn't decide if it was good or not, if we liked it. It was very well produced. The cinematography was great. It was a very tight episode.
How was the acting?
The acting was great, but we're not sure if we liked it because it was just an episode.
So this takes place 1,000 years in the future from the episode, which takes place 10 years before the original series, which takes place 100 years before the next gen.
Yes.
Which takes place 20 years before Voyager.
Right.
So we are 860 years in the future from the last part of the timeline we observed, excluding the time travel groups in the Temporal Cold War and in the one where they're policing time travel with 7 of 9, which was only 700 years in the future, which means it's 100 years in the future of this?
So I'm assuming it takes place around the year 3200 and something.
Yes.
Yes.
But I'm just trying to figure out where it fits in the timeline.
I don't think it does. We couldn't decide if it's going to fit into the overall framework of Discovery or not, or if it's just like a little mini non-canon one-off.
It's like a little
cool
nothing
story.
episode, kind of?
Yeah.
Like a standalone what if?
Kinda.
Hi, my name's Robert J. Sawyer. I'm an award-winning science fiction writer, and you're listening to the Rusted Robot Podcast. Don't forget to follow them on Twitter.
And we're back from that mild interruption from your backdoor neighbors. We were talking about Calypso, the Star Trek Short Trek episode, and how it takes place approximately in the year 3200. And the Klingons and I thought it was a very interesting episode, very well produced, and a good story, but does it relate to anything? We don't know.
So they are canon.
Well, they must be, because they're on TV.
Yeah, but, like, this character, is he in Discovery?
No, we've never seen him before.
Okay.
Because it's 1,000 years from now.
Well, you know,
yeah.
You got some people that can be 1,000 years old.
Could be, but he's...
Any of Guinan's race.
Well, that's true. But
And
he did say he was human,
Time
so...
traveler.
Well, that doesn't mean much.
No.
Guinan could say she's human, she'd pass.
No, she could.
Yeah, that's true. She could.
In fact, she did.
She has
Right.
many times.
Indeed. Yeah, so anyway, they're interesting episodes. I've got them on the PVR, so if you'd like to come over and watch some short treks with me...
No, that's all right.
Well, are they? How different are they from Discovery? Because what if they're different enough that you like them?
Most of them relate directly to Discovery.
No.
He said that didn't.
No. Neither did the other one. It just takes place on the ship. But that's it.
So it takes place on the ship?
On the Discovery ship.
On the and it's not related to Discovery at all? Which takes place on the ship?
Yeah.
Named after the ship?
Mm-hmm.
You know what would be very funny is if they were doing sabotage to please people like you.
Like playing that song in the background?
No, the people making these short treks. If the cast, if everybody was carrying out a small sabotage operation to blow up Discovery or change the timeline, that would be odd.
Right.
And
yes.
kind of magic. I like things within things that have other plans.
Well, all I know is that the next episode comes out, I think, December 6th, and it's the Saru episode. You remember Saru? You liked Saru? Wasn't he your favorite character of the 5 episodes you watched?
He's the second in command?
Yeah, he's the bald guy with the ganglia.
He senses danger.
Yes.
Ganglia?
Yeah, that's what the things that come out of his head are called.
Oh, good glory.
Yeah.
Like a salamander?
Kinda.
Maybe.
Ew. I like salamanders. I don't think I would want a salamander person.
Invasion of the salamander people.
Ew.
So, no. I don't particularly care.
No, you don't want to? No.
I walked away. I'm not coming back.
Never?
No.
Oh, all right.
Well,
Season 2 comes out January 17th. We're having...
Season 2 comes out December 30th.
Of the Orville.
Yeah.
Yes, it does. We played the trailer for that last week, Kitty.
Mm.
Yes, we're looking forward to it as well. It's very exciting. And you know what else is exciting? This trailer for another podcast on the ESO network.
Check out what's been going on with the Pop Culture Cosmos Show and the PCC Multiverse.
That is by far my favorite, because it's also character driven and the stakes are high and there's much more of a mystery and intrigue to it.
A game like Wolfenstein, which people are saying are one of the most socially important video games of the past 10 years.
Catch our shows on Podbean, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or on over 30 more podcast outlets, including our friends right here at the ESO Network.
That was very exciting, and I can't wait to listen to that podcast in its entirety, all the episodes, all the time.
Yes.
Yes.
Glory.
Right? Yes.
Indeedly do.
Glory to you and your house.
Yeah, glory to you and your house.
That's right.
Glory to you and your house.
What's the matter, Josh? You're looking at me funny.
The listeners know.
Yes, they do.
The listeners know, Sean.
Yes. Hey, did you know that Netflix announces Pacific Rim and Altered Carbon are among 5 new animes? Home to many anime series already, both original like Castlevania and One Punch Man, Netflix has been the less hardcore alternative to anime-focused streaming service Crunchyroll. Now, with a recent announcement that the world's biggest streamer will be adding 5 new original anime creations for its viewers, it's clear that Netflix is moving into original content in all sectors.
All right, so is it true anime? That is the question.
I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. But we got Pacific Rim and Altered Carbon, and they will have anime adaptations with Pacific Rims focused on 2 young siblings forced to pilot an old Jaeger. Okay. An old Jaeger through A barren, dangerous, possibly kaiju-infested land in search of their parents. So that could be interesting. The Altered Carbon series is also set in the same world as its live-action companion, but with a super vague pitch promising only to explore new elements of the story mythology.
So it doesn't say who they're getting as writer, director, production house, nothing like that yet?
No.
See, because like it can be anime styled.
And also it can be drawn by a Japanese animation company, but that doesn't necessarily make it fall under the category of anime. It's the way that stories are told and the specific tropes that are hit, or the reverse of said tropes being not hit on purpose to make it almost like opposite of what anime usually is, but it still falls under the anime category because they're doing it on purpose, like as a hyperbole. But like Studio Ghibli, for example, doesn't hit all the same tropes. In fact, it's very opposite, and it is produced by a Japanese animation company, but it is not anime.
Okay, what is it?
It's an
Just
animated
animated.
movie.
Oh, okay.
They're glorious. They're so good. They're beautifully done.
'Cause
They're
it's-
often
it's-
traditionally animated.
So it's like a regular cartoon, and anime is a separate sub.
Well, it's not even really like a cartoon because of the.
So they are animated films.
Yeah.
On a cartoon is like
like Bugs Bunny. When
Yeah.
you think of cartoon, you often think of stuff like Bugs Bunny.
Bugs Bunny, Roadrunner,
yeah, all that stuff.
Wile E. Coyote, all that jazz.
But like, you know how Batman the Animated Series, people call it Batman the Animated Series
Right.
instead of Batman Cartoon?
Yeah.
It's because the series is so... It's animated, but it's not cartoony.
Right, because cartoony is more like funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, anime often hits specific notes and has specific ways that the story's being told that makes it anime, which is why... it's another reason why, like, the animated Ninja Batman series is not anime, even though some people will think it is.
It's produced by a Japanese company, but it does not follow the Japanese story structure the way most anime does.
Okay, so just because it's a Japanese animated thing, it's not anime per se.
Yeah.
Most of it does because there's a cultural aspect to it.
Yeah.
But anytime they're bringing in outside things to do for an outside audience, they do it with an outside audience in mind.
Of course. Okay.
So it's anime, you're looking into the Japanese culture. Animation from Japan that is not set for them, you're looking at what the Japanese are looking out at what they expect you to want.
That makes a certain amount of sense. I get it.
Yeah. But if you haven't seen Studio Ghibli, I highly recommend it.
What would be some of those?
There's Howl's Moving Castle, which I think you would enjoy thoroughly.
Okay.
It's based on a book series. I don't remember the name of the author at the moment.
That's okay.
Nausicaa of the Wind?
Nausicaa Valley of the Wind is quite good.
I think he'd like that one.
He probably would. Spirited Away is pretty crazy, and I think you might enjoy that
I
one.
think I might have seen it. What happens in that one?
There's a girl who's moving, and her family stops to check out what appears to be an abandoned theme park.
Oh, no, I haven't seen that.
And then they think that the theme park is still open because there's a bunch of food there. They pig out. They become pigs.
Oh, no, I have not seen that. What's the one where there's a house with little creatures living in it?
Secret World of Arietti?
Yes, I've seen that. Is that one of those?
Is it Tiny People?
Yeah.
Tiny People live there?
Yeah.
Secret World of Arietti.
And that's a Studio Ghibli?
Yeah.
Okay, I've
It's
seen
really
that.
good, eh? It's
Yeah.
based on The Borrowers. So, like, a lot of the Studio Ghibli ones are either things that Miyazaki has created himself, or it's often an adaptation of a traditionally written novel. So, like, The Borrowers, and there's one based on Hans Christian Andersen's The Little Mermaid, but it is made much sweeter and kinder, and it's now
Nobody turns to foam?
Nobody turns into foam. It's a little bit weirder. The Little Mermaid, rather than being a regular mermaid, she is a fish with a human face.
Oh.
Her parents are actually... her mother's not dead. Her mother is the ocean.
Okay.
Who is embodied in a giant water lady who changes size.
Okay, that sounds interesting.
Her father used to be human, possibly?
Now he's an immortal alchemist mage thing.
Yeah. He's voiced by Kelsey Grammer.
Of course he is.
He's hilarious and amazing.
Okay, and this is all Studio Ghibli stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, so Ponyo, who is the Little Mermaid, effectively.
Yeah.
She transforms into being a small girl through the power of her own magic. Well, magic that she kind of stole from a magic well, from her father's magic well, which was in a vault, and she didn't intentionally open, but she was super happy about being able to turn herself human.
I guess so.
But there's no bad guy in that movie at all.
Oh.
And then the small boy who she, quote unquote, falls in love with, Sosuke, is just a sweet little boy, and their adventure is mostly trying to find his mom while there is a flood.
Ah.
Yeah. It's very cute, and
So-
it ends very well.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So it's good for kids.
Yeah.
Right on.
Unlike, is Grave?
Huh?
Is Grave Ghibli?
Grave of the Fireflies is Studio Ghibli, don't watch it. It's,
Okay.
well, it is beautiful.
Yeah.
It is
It
well
is extremely
done.
well done.
Mhm.
It will make you cry and cry and cry forever.
Oh, I don't want to cry forever.
Even if you are a very happy person, you will
Yeah.
cry forever.
Oh.
Because it is extremely sad.
Okay, I'm forewarned. So are we going to watch Altered Carbon and Pacific Rim animes? What do we
Maybe.
think?
So I am not heavy into the mecha.
No.
I am not a big mecha fan, so probably not going to watch.
Pacific Rim?
Yeah.
I like kaijus.
And I haven't watched Altered Carbon at all.
I watched it. It was one of those things where it was really hard to get through. Because it was okay, but it wasn't...
It wasn't outstanding.
No.
I was
no.
told I'd probably really like
You
it.
probably would really like it. I don't think I'd watch the anime for that, but I'd probably watch the Pacific Rim one.
Have you seen any of Black Mirror?
I watched all of Black Mirror.
Yeah,
That was
that's a
fanta-
pretty
that
messed
was-
up show.
That was fantastic.
It's good, but it's
got
messed
some
up.
crazy ideas on
Mhm.
it. Yeah. So there is that.
Also, none of them end happy.
Nope. Nope. Don't
Not one.
Don't mess with that technology because you're gonna be sad.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Like the one that ends happy, San Junipero, doesn't end happy.
Yeah.
Like it does, but it doesn't.
Right. Exactly.
First, they punch you in the heart.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They do. So lots of cool concepts, neat ideas. I hope
It is really neat. It's extremely well done. Black Mirror is amazing and terrifying.
I hope they come up with more seasons because that'll be great. Really is all about the dangers of social media.
Yeah, I can't watch a lot of it all at once, though.
No, you can't binge it.
I watch
Well, you
one
can, but-
episode maybe every 2 weeks.
If you're interested in learning about the history and dangers of social media, you should listen to episode 74 of the Soulforge podcast, which just came out this week. Hey, it's Sean from the Soulforge podcast. Join me and the gang as we guide you through the adventures of living. Topics include sex, loss, joy, and stupid things we've done for love. It's life, the universe, and everything. Find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, the ESO Network, SoulforgePodcast.com, and everywhere else you find podcasts. The Soulforge Podcast. Let's find out together. Tracy and I talked all about the history of social media and how it's changed the world.
It's done a lot of good, but it also does a lot of awful things.
That's exactly what we brought up.
It's just because it's an extension of people.
Yep, exactly. Excellent. So let's go moving to our next story, where we have Matt Smith is playing a young Palpatine, according to Star Wars 9 rumor.
Twitch.
Yeah.
That's Josh's eye.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So there are 3 possibilities that people are discussing about this. There's the flashback.
Could be a flashback.
That's my plan.
Which
Flashback.
Because he's long dead by this point.
Who you flashing back to? Because
A young.
Yeah, but who's doing the flashback?
Also,
to
Star Wars
flashback,
has
you
never
have
done
to you'd have to flash back to somebody. Right? Who's telling the story? Who's remembering the event?
Right, because who's left besides Chewie?
Maybe the entire
And the droids.
thing.
Chewie wasn't there for young Palpatine, though. We see middle-aged Palpatine when he's a senator.
Right.
What if the entire story is Palpatine's life flashing before his eyes as he falls to his death?
The other options are the clone.
Yeah, they talked about the clone in the article.
Which they did in the expanded universe.
Yeah.
Except they didn't set up this thing properly to do the clones the way they did in that thing.
Mm-hmm.
And if they're going to raid that idea, but they've killed off Luke, and they really haven't given us anything to support that, our understanding of the Force as it has ever been. Now it's just random luck who gets the Force, and there's no rhyme or reason behind it. And
Yeah.
anybody can just use the Force at will without training and just be masters of Jedi that unlike we've ever seen, but they can do it without training.
Who needs training?
Yeah.
That was just for the Jedi cult. See, because anybody could just master it right away, but if you have the thing with the cult set up and only certain people can do it, it's like the Trills.
That's what
anybody
we
can
need.
be a Trill, but they said that they couldn't anybody be a Trill.
That's what we need in Timmins, I think.
We
is
need a cult?
A Jedi cult.
Yes, we do.
I'd be Sith. You can't be Jedi.
Well, whatever. It's the same thing.
I don't want to steal children.
No, neither do I.
Yes, you do.
Yes, I do.
Creepy.
So, yeah, and then...
I'm a great mom.
You were a great mom. No stealing children. So,
time travel is the third option.
Yeah, but you can't do that in Star Wars.
Star Wars is not a time travel kind of universe.
It is low-tech sci-fi.
Yes.
It's like none of this is fancy air techno babbling. It's just hit the thing and make it work.
Yeah, you don't need the explanation. It just does. It works. How does that work? Pretty well, thank you.
The hyperdrive.
The Force.
How does the hyperdrive work? You put the power in, you flip the switch, and hopefully it works.
Yeah.
Oh.
It is drive that is more than drive.
Right. We don't need to explain it. We just have to
exist
in the world, which is the opposite of Star Trek.
Yeah, it's backyard mechanics stuff for half the work we see done on ships.
Yeah.
It's backyard mechanics.
Yeah.
A guy holding up the welding master's face. That's not how you use a welding mask.
Right.
And kind of just arcing it and that's good enough.
Yeah, because everything's falling apart in Star Wars universe.
Yeah.
All the time.
They need duct tape.
And chicken wire.
Oh, yeah.
Duct tape and chicken wire.
That is a good way to fix things.
Fix that real good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm not hopeful.
And it's just a rumor. So maybe Matt Smith is not going to be in it at all. Maybe he is.
I don't know. He'd make a good Palpatine. Have you ever seen him without hair?
See,
maybe.
If you give me young Palpatine, the movie,
yeah,
maybe I'll watch it. Like the in-between stories, don't put it a part of the main story. You can't do it a part of the main story. And they have not engendered the fan support like they need to do.
No, it all fell apart, it seems like.
They need more Rogue One.
Yes, that was a really good episode.
So they enticed us with 7.
Yeah.
7's like, all right, it brings us back, it's all familiar, we're comfy in our blankets, show us something good. And then they give us Rogue One, where they were like, see, we know we can do good stuff.
And it was great.
And they could, and it was good.
And it was excellent.
And then the other two, it's like, they stumbled, like they didn't have a plan together.
But I really enjoyed Last Jedi.
Really?
Yeah, I did.
I like the porgs and the ice crystal fox, or the salt foxes. That's what
the salt foxes.
But the good scenes.
Mm-hmm.
Does not make a good movie.
No.
I liked
but
how...
the creatures...
Like, the guy who made it literally said he wanted to deconstruct Star Wars.
And he did.
You don't do that in a Star Wars film.
But he did a good job, I thought.
I do not.
Yeah.
That is the problem.
He subverted our expectations.
I read a few other things about the original story ideas that they had, and I kind of wish they had gone with that instead.
So when you subvert the ideas, though, of your franchise, you don't do them all in one go.
He did.
Yeah.
You do if they're only going to let you have one chance at it.
That's right. We're going to subvert everything. Full subversion.
Be like, I'm going to ruin this franchise, so I'm going to ruin it all.
Go big or go home.
That built division.
I am home.
Oh.
That built division in the fan base, right?
Yeah.
And then once you have that division there, you really gotta bring us back. You gotta, all right, we've shown you how we can subvert Star Wars completely. Now we'll bring you back in with some old Star Wars. Oh no, it's nothing like you expected.
What if The Last Jedi is Highlander 3? Or Highlander 2?
The Quickening?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No, because they canonized it. The people that made Highlander, they're like, no, 2 didn't exist. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
They can't.
They should do that.
They're not going to do that.
Well, they should.
They should, but they're not going to.
It'd be great. Never happened.
And speaking of Star Wars, that's part of the Disney Empire.
Yes.
Did you know that the Disney streaming service now has a name?
That's pretty exciting.
Yes, and they're going to produce a Loki TV series. And the streaming
Loki?
service... Loki. You know, like Tom Hiddleston there? From the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Yes.
Is it going to be called Loki?
Probably.
He's just Loki trying to be a human on Earth.
So they've given the streaming service a name. Apparently it's going to be called Disney Plus.
Huzzah!
Yay!
Okay.
I guess.
Disney Plus what?
I don't know.
Yeah, the name does not... It is no Netflix.
It's not Netflix. It's Disney Plus.
Yeah, but the name doesn't like, oh, I'm gonna go watch Netflix.
Right.
Nobody's gonna say I'm gonna watch Disney Plus.
No.
It doesn't brand well on its own.
They should have called it Disflix or something. Dispix.
Oh no, they can't call it that.
Oh, Dispix. Yeah, right.
Not if you're using voice recognition software.
True. Okay.
Google, show me Dispics. Did you say this? No, I did not. Don't show me that, Google.
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Yeah.
You're a dirty, dirty girl. Who's a dirty girl?
That's because I do a lot of advertising on the internet. There's some stuff you don't want to see.
Yeah, so they could have come up with a better name.
They could have, but they didn't.
So yeah, all right, I'll give it a chance.
I just want to know if maybe, because like you know how sometimes they have other things. Disney owns other companies.
Yeah.
What if it's Disney plus those things?
Right. All the things.
I understand the idea behind the name is everything under the Disney umbrella gets pushed onto it.
Yeah, but people are just going to say, I'm going to go watch Disney.
Yeah.
They're not going to, though. They're just going to
say what show they were going to watch.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that's also fun.
I'm going to go watch Loki.
Yeah, but you need that branding to get people to go over to the thing rather than just seek out the individual shows.
I don't know. If you've got good enough product, people will be like, oh, it's on this.
Yeah, but you got to get them to it, and that's part of the branding.
I guess.
Because like Netflix really nailed it with their name. They got a really good name.
Yeah, it's like
a name is important.
It's like Kleenex. Any tissue is going to. I just need a Kleenex.
And like some people use, oh, I'm going to go Netflix that when they mean just any streaming.
Yeah, it's true.
So
Disney Plus. That's what it's going to be called. And there's going to be a Loki TV series in addition to all kinds of other things. And little did the hosts of the Rusted Robot podcast in 2018 know that by the year 2107, Disney would have acquired all the companies on the planet Earth and officially changed the name of the Earth to Disney World.
Ha! Ha!
Anyways.
That was well done.
Not bad, right? I've been thinking about that for a while. Yes. So, did we talk about that cigar-shaped object that was floating through the solar system there last year?
Oumuamua?
Oumuamua. Yeah. Did we talk about it on the show yet? Or
we did not talk about it.
We talked about it before we recorded.
We did.
We haven't actually yet spoken about it on the recording that we're currently doing right now. So we should do that right now. Talk about Oumuamua.
Oumuamua.
Yeah, that.
Oumuamua?
Oumuamua. A mysterious cigar-shaped object spotted tumbling through our solar system last year may have been an alien spacecraft sent to investigate Earth, astronomers from Harvard University have suggested. The object, nicknamed Oumuamua, meaning a messenger that reaches out from the distant past in Hawaiian, was discovered in October 2017 by the Pan-STARRS 1 telescope in Hawaii.
That's very exciting.
Yes.
Why did it take them a year to get out this information?
I don't know. Because since its discovery, scientists have been at odds to explain its unusual features and precise origins, with researchers first calling it a comet and then an asteroid before finally claiming it the first of its kind, a new class of interstellar objects. A new paper by researchers at the Harvard-Smithsonian Center for Astrophysics raises the possibility that the elongated dark red object, which is 10 times as long as it is wide, and traveling at speeds of 196,000 miles per hour, might have an artificial origin. Oumuamua may be a fully...
Oumuamua.
Yeah, that's right. May be a fully operational probe sent intentionally to Earth vicinity by an alien civilization, they wrote in the paper.
No.
You don't think so?
I can guarantee that it is not a fully functional probe.
The theory is based on the object's excess acceleration or its unexpected boost in speed as it traveled through and ultimately out of our solar system in January.
Yes, that is a mysterious thing because there's no visible outgassing, which is why it was taken off the comets list and put onto an asteroid list. But it may have had outgassing in a spectrum that we could not see and a small enough things that adjust it. But its tumble prevents it from being a fully functional probe.
In the paper, the pair theorized that the object's high speed and its unusual trajectory could be the result of it no longer being operational. Yes, exactly what you just said.
Okay, well, yeah, because it's tumbling end over end, which is not a good method of interstellar space travel. The reason they thought it was a good object for that is because it's long and thin, like my vape here, like a tube.
Or a cigar, yeah.
So if it's rotating on its face, like if you're holding a pencil and you were to spin the pencil in your hand, that's fine, because then you have a small cross-section as you're traveling through space for things to hit.
Yes.
But if you're tumbling end over end...
Like a stick
like a slinky going down the stairs, but straight.
Yeah, that too.
That shape. That's not good, because you're actually exposing more surface area to each volume of space.
Right.
Thereby making it more likely you're going to get hit.
Yes.
Add to the fact that they're also rotating in the same way as a pencil, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how to explain that movement.
What's the name of the thing again?
Oumuamua.
Oumuamua is the first object ever seen in our solar system that is known to have originated elsewhere. So that's exciting.
That is exciting.
Yeah, and we are done with Oumuamua.
Because, yeah.
It's gone.
It's maybe the probe ship for the alien whales from Star Trek 4.
First of all, that thing was much larger than this thing.
And it had a volleyball in the end.
And it slowed down and stopped.
It did, and it boiled away the oceans and stuff.
Yeah. So at no point did this thing slow down. It's actually sped up, which is why outgassing might explain it.
Yes, outgassing. You gotta watch out for that.
Well, that's what comets do.
Yeah. That's right, and that's why they were confused, because there was no halo or comet tail or any of that stuff.
Yeah. So it's fully possible that it is still a comet.
But you don't think it's an alien probe?
I do not think it is an alien probe.
Even though it has an unusual shape?
Not really. I don't think it has an unusual shape. It has the shape is long and elongated like that. Okay. And it's very thin compared to its overall length, but that is not terribly out there unusual.
Right.
Because, you look at all the rocks in our solar system.
Yeah.
You got a lot of weird shapes in those, too.
There are a lot of weird shapes. This is true.
We do have a lot of things that you could describe it as being shaped like that are not even...
Not even?
Those kinds of... they're not even meant to be that.
It's
a common shape.
A lot of celestial bodies, they tend to be lumpy and round, but it's not that unusual the shape enough that it couldn't be natural.
True enough. That is true. You're right. So it's a very exciting paper, I'm sure, that they wrote.
It is still very exciting.
And
it's possible. Anything is possible.
Anything is possible, but is it probable? Not as much likely.
And the argument for it being a spacecraft is that it accelerated, right?
Yes.
But because of its tumbling, it's unlikely to be, if it is a spacecraft, in control, which means it couldn't control its acceleration, which means its accelerating means nothing.
Because it could be affected by the wind currents of the sun and all that stuff.
Solar currents?
Yes, those. It's late at night, and
that's okay.
My brain is shutting down.
I know what you mean, though.
Good. We have no trailers this week, guys.
No, I got a couple, but they're nothing that's...
Nothing that we could really talk about that's geeky enough.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I do have some disturbing pop culture news.
Say what?
Yeah.
Are you going to disturb us?
Probably, yes, actually.
Tell me.
Did you hear about how there's supposed to be a reboot of Shrek?
I did hear about that, actually. They're already rebooting Shrek.
I find that really upsetting. It's perfect as it is already.
It's too soon.
I understand rebooting movies that are classics, that are too slow.
So we reboot them for a new generation.
Yeah, when they're just too slow paced for the new generation.
Like if you were going to reboot Casablanca.
Yeah, exactly.
Or something like that.
Yeah, there's certain things that newer generations just wouldn't get.
Right, because this week I had Bishop over to watch classic movies, And I said, do you want to watch Army of Darkness? He's like, I don't know. I'm like, well, we could go for a real classic film and we could watch Casablanca. It's a 1940s black and white. He's like, no thanks, Dad. So I put on Army of Darkness and he actually loved it.
Yeah, but like there's certain things that people aren't going to get. And you do want them to still enjoy them, because a lot of the time classics are, you know, they hold the test of time with their storytelling. It's just that certain things need to be sped up, certain things need to be changed. Like a lot of people wouldn't recognize older radios anymore.
What do you mean, older radios?
The actual physical appearance of older radios.
Yeah.
People wouldn't know what that is?
A lot of people have no idea what they are.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Like, hipsters know what record players are, for example, but nobody knows what a Victrola is.
Oh. Like the thing with the big horn on it.
Yeah, and you have to crank it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
People don't know what that is?
Many people, the closest, like, they know what a gramophone is.
Yeah.
The old vacuum tube style radios. They don't understand that something the size of a dresser can be a radio.
It's just because just recently they stopped, like, the reason why I knew about floor model giant, like, oven-sized radios.
Because you pay attention to the world?
No, because I've never seen one in real life, except at, there's an antique store, which I have seen one at, but I would not have recognized what it was without the old Bugs Bunny cartoons.
Aha. Okay.
So, like, it's because of those, and also Betty Boop. But it's because I watched those, because my parents went out of their way to seek out those old cartoons so I could watch them, because most people my age, 30, haven't seen Betty Boop. Like the actual cartoons?
Betty Boop actually was featured in the Star Trek short track Calypso episode
Really?
this week. Yeah.
Like, some people can kind of recognize the character, because she's kind of become iconic as a symbol on her own, like Hello Kitty.
Yeah.
But they have no idea what the cartoon actually consists of.
Okay.
So, like, a lot of things need to be updated for younger people, because a lot of people our age are kind of slothful as...
And they just don't know things.
Historians. Like, they're just... Like, a lot of people don't explain things to their children.
That's true, and I don't
Hey,
understand
parent,
that.
what's that? And they're like, just watch it.
Yeah, I guess that's true, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, rebooting Shrek already.
Yeah.
And...
It's disappointing.
Because it's not that old. And
like, who are they going to get to voice him? Are they just going to get Michael Myers again because he's amazing?
I don't know.
Are they going to pick somebody else, which would be weird?
Right.
Like, when the original actor is still there, and it's not like he could look any different and not fit the part anymore because he's animated. Like, it doesn't matter what the actual actor looks like anymore.
Well, no, of course not.
And then changing the voice actor would be dumb.
Yep.
Because you just did it perfectly the first time. If you're wanting somebody to embody a character that is animated and you've created, and the original actor's still there, I don't see why we would pick anybody else. If you're wanting to go for a different feel, then just make a different movie.
Yeah, exactly. So it's just weird.
Or, like, you know, Shrek has so many movies as it is anyway.
Wasn't there
why
four
don't
of
they
them or
just
something?
throw, like, a 6 on there or something and be like, Shrek 6?
Right, just you don't have to reboot it, you just continue
because
on
we
with
would
the series.
watch it.
Well, it came out in 2001, right?
Yeah.
So...
Like, even there's a Puss in Boots cartoon that's still going, and it's really good. I don't understand the purpose of a reboot when the thing that currently exists is still entertaining to the people watching it.
Exactly, because it's not that old. So, I don't know. People in Hollywood don't make sense. But in other news, Godzilla vs. Kong director Adam Wingard has confirmed production on the film is set to begin this week. The film is set to be the culmination of Legendary Entertainment's cinematic monsterverse following 2014's Godzilla, Kong Skull Island, and the upcoming Godzilla King of the Monsters, starring Millie Bobby Brown. Filming will take place in Atlanta, with Wingard directing the project from a script written by Terry Rossio, who did Pirates of the Caribbean, and a bunch of other people. And it looks like J. Michael Straczynski, who's known for Babylon 5, is also part of the writing team, which is cool.
That's exciting. Millie Bobby Brown is 11 from Stranger Things.
Yes, she is. Yep, so it was just confirmed on Instagram that it is beginning production this week,
I've seen the trailer for it, and it looks like something I would enjoy.
And
they didn't give too much of it away, but they showed me enough monster that I want to see it.
And it does say that Millie Bobby Brown, who played 11, will be reprising her role from Godzilla King of the Monsters alongside Alexander Skarsgård, Eliza Gonzalez, and a bunch of other people. And it's set to hit theaters May 22, 2020.
So, they really...
It's weird because I love Godzilla, but I wasn't a huge fan of the animated series. Or if it was a movie, I couldn't sit through it.
So we've got Godzilla King of the Monsters hitting theaters this coming May 31st, 2019, and then Kong vs. Godzilla there in 2020.
They really need, like, they're jumping ahead on that. Because, like, what if this new Godzilla doesn't go, right?
Well, it's too late. They've already...
What do you mean?
Well, King of All Monsters isn't coming out until May
of this year. Or
Oh,
2019.
okay, yes, okay.
And then they're already
It's
starting...
It's gonna be fine. It's Godzilla, man.
It's Star Wars, man. No Star
No,
Wars
Godzilla's better.
No Star Wars films ever flopped. Oh, wait.
Okay, no.
It didn't flop. It just didn't do as well as expected.
For example, the old Godzilla movies, there's over 10 of them. Some of them were bad.
There's like
it
30.
didn't matter.
Yeah.
They still made them. I still watched them.
Yeah,
I still owned them all on VHS.
They made them for a song and a piece of gum.
It was amazing.
And apparently, Andrew Lincoln is not done with The Walking Dead because this past week was the final Rick Grimes episode, which I missed because my free preview of AMC expired.
Oh, disappointing.
Yeah, so I haven't seen it. But apparently they're going to have a film franchise with his character in it.
Oh, neat.
But it'll just be on AMC.
Oh.
But they're going to have Andrew Lincoln Walking Dead movies.
That's a long time to be one character.
9 years, 9 seasons. Yeah.
Even 9 seasons I find is a long time for a show to run. Why is that a normal thing now?
9 seasons is not.
No, that's awesome.
Like Supernatural.
That doesn't happen.
Yeah, no, it's rare to get a show to hit that many seasons.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
It's just that all the shows that hit that many seasons, because they're really long seasoned.
Mm-hmm.
There are more of them on the air because they are long running. That's why you think they're more common than they are. Just how many shows are 1-2 seasons and then they go away.
Yeah. Well, but...
Pretty much everything on Fox.
What I mean, though, is that shows that I enjoy are lasting longer now. Because, like, for example, Sarah Connor Chronicles just died, and it was amazing.
That's a Fox product.
Yeah,
That's what they do.
I'm just pleased that there's fun things that are lasting longer. But other things, I'm okay with them, like...
Wrap it up?
Running down their clock and just being over.
And the last bit of news that I have is that Taron Egerton will not return as Eggsy in Kingsman 3. Number 2 is the last Kingsman film that he's going to be in.
Well, that's okay, because Kingsman is about the organization. And even though the first one followed Eggsy, and I assume the next one will follow Eggsy, you can have other Kingsmen without being the same one.
Right, of course.
It isn't even as bad as Bond.
Yeah, because they can just change
the
person that they're following in the same organization.
This is true.
It's really good. I haven't seen the following movies, but I would like to.
Would you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The first one was really funny.
Yeah.
It's full of action, and it's actually quite hilarious.
It is quite hilarious. You are correct. To wrap up the show, we did not get any emails about your hypothetical from last week. What henchman group would you be in and why, and what would be the advantages?
Yeah.
So maybe we'll extend it.
We'll give you guys another week, but...
Well, we won't have a podcast next weekend.
Oh, you got 2 weeks then.
2 weeks. 2 weeks, because I am out of town next weekend.
I think I have one.
Okay.
I can't remember at the moment what they're called, though.
Well, we can save it for the 1 in 2 weeks.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. Because we don't want to give anybody hints and steal your thunder and stuff, so...
But if you're listening to this, send in your answer. I really want to hear your answers, people.
Yep. Tweet us,
Except for
email
mine.
us, put it on the Facebook group.
Except for mine.
No, we're going to hold off on yours so that the people have something to listen to.
That's right. That's
so
right.
they're all jazzed up.
Exactly.
So they can hear Katie's answer.
Yep.
Maybe they'll choose the same thing as you.
Yeah, that's right. You never know. So that is the end of episode 222 of the Rusted Robot Podcast. Right?
No, that's not.
Do you have something else?
No, we missed something.
What did we miss? What did we miss? Could it be our Jump City plug?
It could be our Jump City plug.
Oh my goodness.
We didn't do a Jump City plug.
Jump City. Timmins, Ontario, Canada.
No, we didn't.
What is Jump City?
It's that comic book store
that Katie runs with her sister.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Yes, we forgot to mention that.
We could probably have forgotten, and we would have forgotten the address of 38 Pine Street North, Unit 106 in the basement.
Right.
We wouldn't have mentioned that to them.
It's in Timmins, Ontario, Canada.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, it is.
Pretty bad.
Yeah, good thing we didn't forget about that.
Yeah.
The shameless plug for your comic book shop.
Shameless plug.
Yes. That's all we have for this week. Until next time, thanks for coming by. And remember, life is like arriving late for a movie, having to figure out what was going on without bothering everybody with a lot of questions, and then being unexpectedly called away before you find out how it ends. You have been listening to the Rusted Robot Podcast. To contact the show, email therustedrobot@gmail.com or tweet us at therustedrobot. Join the Facebook page and group, and visit the website at therustedrobot.podbean.com. The Rusted Robot Podcast was put together by Sean and Josh and the Rusty crew. Please remember to check out our other show, the Soulforge Podcast, visit Jump City Comics in the 101 Mall, and leave a glowing review in your chosen podcast app. Thank you, and have a geeky day.
The Rusted Robot Podcast. Think about it.
Now, did researchers just solve a mystery from space? Experts at Harvard say this cigar-shaped object spotted last year could be an alien ship. The theory's out of this world, and the object may be too.
But Harvard researchers say some more obvious explanations have been ruled out. WBZ's Paul Burton has the story, all new at 5.
This is the very first object that was discovered in the solar system that originated from outer space.
Scientists say tumbling through our solar system right now is this strange cigar-shaped object called Oumuamua,
which in Hawaiian means a visitor from far away coming here for the first time.
Harvard University professor Avi Loeb says the object was discovered last year. He says it's not a comet or an asteroid, and while there's no scientific proof, it could be something from another life form.
Could be a space debris from an advanced technological equipment that is either defunct or operational. We don't know. Maybe it's a reconnaissance mission coming to the inner part of the solar system to look around.
Like an alien ship?
Our suggestion is that it may be a light sail. A light sail is a sail pushed by light, just like a sailboat is being pushed by the wind.
Begs the question, do you think we are alone?
No, I don't think we're alone. I think there's a good chance that there's something out there for sure.
I think we're alone. You just never know.
Professor Loeb says the object is now moving out of our solar system and will take thousands of years to do so. However, he also says it's too late for scientists to find that object again in space with the technology we have today.
With conventional rockets, we cannot catch up with it. However, if we develop better technology for propulsion, we could potentially in the future chase it down and reach it.
While it's the first of its kind, scientists think they'll find other objects in the coming years.
People should be excited that we currently have the technology and the scientific method to find out whether we are alone.
In Cambridge, I'm Paul Burton, WBZ News.
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network. Be part of the crew and help support our shows by donating to our ESO Patreon or by shopping through Amazon.com or the TeePublic store, which can all be found at www.esonetwork.com. The ESO Network, your station for all things geek.